Perfect, 2:30. Okay, I'd like to call to order the Special Parks, Property and Streets Committee meeting on Monday, May 19th, 2025 at 2:30 p.m. May I have roll call, please?
Bell here.
Berto here.
Housen here.
Arden's here.
Aaron, okay, great. Hi, Jerry. I'm not sure about Mike Laskowitz. I don't know. I haven't heard anything, so
He did say that he should be available for today's meeting. I just don't see him yet.
not yet. Okay. Okay, on to an approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then on to item 3, discussion action items. Highway 57 trail contracts. And we have a staff report for that.
Okay, so, the DOT has to approve whichever contract, and when I let them know that we have picked Stantec for both engineering and construction services, they said we could not have Stantec for the construction services, and they told us we had to pick a different firm. When you look at Stantec's construction services one, they show themselves as the lead instead of KL Engineering, and they said that would not work. Not only that, Stantec had made the grant application on that particular grant. So they said, no, they could not do the construction services. I'll be honest with you, I don't understand why or how. I just know they said, no, you have to pick a different company. So what we would need is a motion to reconsider our decision, and then we can vote again.
So then it would be separate construction services and engineering, or?
Right, we would do just like last time. We would vote on who we want for engineering and then who we want for construction services. Again, it can be the same company, apparently just not Stantec. So you can pick Stantec for surveying, but not for the construction services, because they did not list KL Engineering as the construction services lead. They listed themselves as the lead. And it would have had to be KL. And we couldn't open it back up and have them revise it because it wouldn't have been fair to the other companies that had responded.
Oh, that was my question. Can't we? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. No, I did ask on that.
Okay.
There'd be a motion to reconsider.
Motion to reconsider, please.
Does that have to be by specific people? I mean, it's based on who?
I believe it was unanimous, so I think any one of you could make that motion to reconsider.
Okay, I'll make a motion we reconsider.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so moved. So now on to choosing part 2. So do we want to go through? Julie sent over the links that we had last time. So I think the first discussion would be engineering, right, Julie?
Right.
Okay, and that would be around whether or not we want a full discussion or if we want to just, not just, but to do Stantec. Thoughts?
So very quickly, I found the cost or the bids for those engineering companies. ACOM was $94,500. Graph was $246,900. McMahon, $151,733.50. And Robert E. Lee was $67,563.
Can you give me McMahon again?
$151,733.50.
Okay.
And
As I
what was
recall from our-
Stantec's, Heidi? Sorry, I was still scrolling through Stantec.
Okay.
Their format is a little bit different than the others, so it's hard to find where
I
the
thought
bid
it was
is.
78,000. Does that sound right?
Yeah, they didn't give a detailed one, Heidi. There's no grid to speak of.
I think
Yeah,
it
I'm
was on
trying
like
to
page 4 or
find them all.
5 in the right side of it. I thought it was like 78 or something, 68, 78. From our last discussion, as I recall, we were split between Stantec and Robert E. Lee, maybe. And we talked about Stantec because they'd done the grant and we'd worked with them before. It seems like Robert E. Lee would be a natural backup choice. as I recall from our discussion too, and it's my preference that whichever firm is doing the engineering does the construction oversight because they're going to be tightly linked with each other as they do all that. So it made the most sense to me. So if Stantec is out for at least one of the parts, I think Robert E. Lee makes sense for both parts as a backup, but that's an off-the-cuff opinion.
No, it's a good point to have the
I
same, do
Tend
both.
to agree with you, Jerry.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And I mean, I don't mind having McMahon do both, but their bid on the engineering side is high.
Yeah, and as I recall, Nate had mentioned that some McMahon work on a different trail wasn't necessarily ideal.
Yeah, the CE trail down in Kimberly.
Mhm. Okay, we can make this quick. Do I have a motion for engineering for the to accept the engineering bid from Robert E. Lee?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that the right motion or is the motion to pass it on to the board, Julie? I don't know.
Goes to the board, but it's a recommendation to the
It would
board.
go anyway. Okay, recommendation of the board, beg your pardon. Okay, moving on to the second part of this, which is the construction bids. Do I have a motion? I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Robert E. Lee and make a recommendation to the village board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so moved. We do other, this is at a time, did we talk about matters to be placed on a future agenda or referred to a committee, official or employee? This is not a regular meeting, but is there anything to talk about there?
I think just that this is going to be referred to the board.
Okay,
That's really the only thing we talked about, but yeah. So
okay,
we're okay on that.
okay. Eric, anything to add from your part?
Nothing as of now, Louise.
Okay. All right, next regular monthly meeting will be June 2nd, 2025 at 1 p.m. And just note that that's a new time and we're working on that agenda now.
So I do have down on there some things for sure, the ice rink lease, the ice rink operating agreement, the Door Hotel sprinkler agreement. But did we want to have a special, my understanding is you wanted a special meeting for the walking tour? Or do you
Yeah, we
want to?
Yeah, we moved that out, a separate one from a regular meeting, right?
That was my understanding what you wanted, right?
Yeah,
You want to set that right away?
sure. I think we talked, did we
My
talk about a
calendar.
Monday, you guys? I don't remember.
Well, I think there's only 2 Mondays or 1 Monday between now and the next meeting, and that's Memorial Day, right?
That would be tough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think Denise just went to grab her calendar. Then not Monday, because Memorial Day's out. So the rest of this week is a little tough for me, but maybe sometime another day next week.
27th, 28th, or 29th?
Uh,
But Mondays were out.
I think
Well-
that's Memorial Day.
Monday's Memorial Day is coming.
Well, what about the 9th?
Oh, I thought, because we had talked about doing it before the meeting, but that's the day of it's not actually the day of our,
Board of Review. I'm not here.
oh, it's the 9th to do board of review. Okay, and it's after our regular June meeting. Okay.
16th? It pushes it into summer a little bit, but
Yeah.
If I'm the only one who can't make it the 9th, do it the 9th.
Well, Mondays in June typically, Jerry, aren't super crazy busy. But if it's a timing thing in terms of wanting to get some things done, again, I'm not sure that would happen.
yeah, I
What
know
time
I'm
is
not
Board of
available
Review on the
9th,
9th?
but
I think it's at
6
What time?
o'clock.
6 p.m.
Thank you, Heidi.
I'm fine with the 9th. Are you sure you don't want to join, Nate?
I mean, if I'm the only one who can't, let's get it done. You don't need to wait for me.
Yeah, I'm out on the 9th, but
Oh, well, that's, okay, and Julie, one of the reasons we didn't want to do it was the day we were gonna do it, you were out as well. So, okay, how's the 16th?
Fine.
works for me.
Everyone, 16th, okay, what time?
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock?
How about your new time? What is your new time? 1 o'clock, did you say, Louise?
Our new one's 1.
You want
Yep.
to try one?
I could do one.
I can do 1, okay. Nate, 1 for you? Okay, and where would we meet?
I think we should meet, well, we're gonna have to call it to order and everything. We shouldn't have any special agenda items because we're meeting 2 weeks before that. So how about at the gazebo?
Sure. Okay. Okay, June 16th, 1 PM at the gazebo for the walk around. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yep.